As the snow began to fall in the winter of 2012, Dave's world was turned upside down by a deluge of disturbing messages from his lover Cari Farver. At first, he tried to brush them off as mere expressions of frustration, but as they continued to flood in, the true nature of their hateful content became impossible to ignore. Dave was trapped in a nightmare, unsure how to escape the terror that had taken over his life. He was terrified, unsure what to do. Could his lover kill him? Or were these just empty threats? Join us for a chilling investigation into the case of Cari Farver. We will uncover the dark secrets and shocking motives of this heinous case. Cari Farver was born on November 30th, 1974 in Iowa. She was a resident of Omaha, Nebraska, and the daughter of Nancy Rainey. She was an intelligent and hard-working person from a young age. Cari excelled in school, particularly in gifted and talented classes. She was a top student. However, at 22, Cari found herself unexpectedly pregnant and alone. Despite this setback, she was determined to be a loving mother to her son, Max, and decided to drop out of university to focus on raising him. Cari was a dedicated daughter and mother who always put her family first. She was determined, strong-willed, independent, and smart. Cari was outgoing and had a positive attitude. She wanted to be remembered for always having a smile on her face. By 37, Cari had settled into a great apartment close to her mother and had a well-paying job. She worked as a computer programmer in Omaha. Cari Farver met Dave Kruper at an auto shop where he worked as a mechanic. Dave had recently moved to town and was newly single after separating from his ex-partner, Amy Flora, with whom he had 2 children. Cari took her car to the shop for repairs, and Dave was immediately attracted to her. However, Cari was not much impressed by him. Dave even reached out to her through a dating app with no such luck. But one day they had a third encounter at Dave's shop, where he asked Cari out for dinner, to which she agreed. The two had their first date at Applebee's, which Cari greatly enjoyed. They were both single parents and didn't want anything serious, but some fun wouldn't harm anyone, right? All this had a major impact on someone who had once been in Dave's life. You see, before meeting Cari, Dave had been seeing other women, one of which was Shauna Liz Gallagher, whom he had met through a dating app. They had an on-again, off-again relationship, but things didn't work out, so they had to break things up. Dave chose to move on following their separation, but Liz wasn't prepared to let go of Dave. She couldn't stand to see Dave with another woman since she wanted him all to herself. Liz flooded Dave's phone with calls and texts while he was out with Cari because she needed to pick up some important stuff from his apartment. Dave told her to hold off until he returned. Dave invited Cari over after dinner. She accepted, and the two went to his place. Soon after they arrived, the doorbell rang. Liz was there. She had already arrived to gather her belongings. Dave was furious, but Cari told him he could come to her house when the two were finished. Cari had a 10-second contact with Liz before leaving. Despite the awkward encounter with Liz, nothing changed and they were still hanging out. A few days later, Cari decided to stay at Dave's place for just a few days because she had a demanding work project, and Dave's apartment was conveniently located near her office. On November 13, 2012, Dave kissed Cari as he left for work, telling her he would see her later that evening, not knowing it would be the last time he was going to see her. Several hours later, Dave received a text from Cari saying she wanted to move in with him permanently. It surprised Dave, as they had previously agreed not to do so. He politely refused, but that did not sit well with Cari. She got mad at Dave's response and told him she no longer wanted to see him and had been dating someone else. Cari also sent strange messages to her mother. She told her that she had taken a new job in Kansas and had started a new life. Nancy found this strange because Cari was doing so well at work and had overcome her bipolar disorder. Her son Max was also doing well in school. Despite Nancy's request, Cari refused to call back or return home. Cari also missed important family events like her half-brother's wedding, her father's funeral, and even her own son's graduation. Nancy became concerned after Cari did not attend the important family events and alerted the police about her daughter's disappearance. As the police began their investigation, new information came to light. Dave and his ex-girlfriend Liz faced a storm of disturbing messages from Cari themselves. Every day, Dave received more than 60 messages. These messages included threats and harassment through texts and emails. Dave believed Cari was stalking him, and this fear only worsened when Cari's SUV was found parked near his apartment building. When the police searched the car, they found a fingerprint, but it revealed nothing as to whose it was and where Cari was. In August of 2013, Liz called Dave and told him that her house had been set on fire and her pets had tragically died in the flames. Dave was horrified by this. He felt that it was because of him that Cari was hurting Liz. So to put a stop to it, he started meeting Liz more often, which eventually brought them closer. But this simply made matters worse. Cari's stalking became more intense and aggressive. Cari sent emails and messages to Dave's friends and family about how horrible he was, and even shared images of Dave whenever he did something. His car was once keyed with derogatory words, and she even spray painted Liz's garage wall. Dave once again got a picture from Cari that appeared to show Liz tied up and in the trunk of her car. Things got so bad that Dave decided to move to Iowa in the hopes that Cari would leave him alone. But he was dead wrong. Dave changed practically every aspect of himself, including his job, phone number, and residence. But even after that, Cari continued to pursue him. Dave became so fearful for his safety that he got himself a gun. By 2015, it had been 3 years since Cari was last seen. The detectives thought it was odd that Cari hadn't used her bank account since she left town. The question then arose, who was sending these messages? At this point, detectives were eager to speak with Liz as she was the focus of Cari's messages. In December of 2015, Liz went to the police station to file a report against Amy Flora, who was the ex-partner of Dave and the mother of his children. She told him that she had started to suspect that Amy had been pretending to be Cari and had been stalking her and Dave for the past 3 years. She became suspicious after receiving an angry email from Amy. Though Cari had only dated Amy's ex-partner, Dave, for 2 weeks, Amy had a deeper connection to him and thus a stronger motive for harassment. On December 5, 2015, Liz Gallier called the police from a park in Iowa. She said that while she was walking alone on a trail in the dark, a woman came up from behind her and asked how she was doing with Dave, and then shot her in the leg. Liz was taken to the hospital by ambulance. While there, she remembered that the woman was Amy. The police then went to Amy's house and found her with her 1-year-old child on her lap. Her car was outside and it was cold, indicating that she had been there all night. The detectives found Liz's claims hard to believe and began to suspect that Liz was involved in Cari's disappearance. Furthermore, Dave's gun went missing, and he reported to the police, and the police requested to recheck Liz's phone. The detectives also brought in a digital forensic expert to examine Dave and Liz's phones. To uncover the origins of Cari's messages, Dave and Liz consented to have their phones examined. However, the detectives discovered that Cari was not sending the messages after all. Instead, the digital trail led the detectives to the shocking revelation that Liz was behind the messages. The detectives uncovered a vast amount of incriminating evidence on Liz's phone. The phone check revealed a photo of Cari's vehicle taken before it was found near Dave's apartment building, and a photo of a tied-up woman sent to Dave from an account under Cari's name. It led them to the conclusion that Cari had died. It was revealed that Liz had been spending a significant amount of time, up to 50 hours per week, impersonating Cari. They also found text messaging apps and fake email addresses under Cari's name on Liz's phone. Cari's mother, Nancy, also presented the police with a check she had received after Cari's disappearance. The person pretending to be Cari had sold all her furniture online and asked Nancy to let the buyer into the house to collect it. The check was issued by Cari but was signed by someone else, to whom the police had long suspected, Shanna Liz Gallier. When Liz was brought in for questioning, detectives decided to go along with her claims that Amy had been harassing her. They informed Liz that they believed her story and that Liz was their primary suspect in Cari's disappearance. They asked Liz to contact her and asked what she had done to Cari. Liz then fabricated emails with the details of Cari's murder. In these emails, Amy confessed to stabbing Cari to death in her car. However, the IP address of these emails belonged to Liz. After analyzing the emails fabricated by Liz, police concluded that Cari's car was a crime scene. Cari's mother had sold the car, but the police recovered it later. Upon searching the car, they found Cari's blood below the passenger seat fabric. The police found out that the fingerprint in Cari's car belonged to Liz. The police also found Cari's digital camera in Liz's house. Later, Dave gave the police Liz's tablet, whose SD card contained photographs of decomposed body parts. It included a photo of a foot with a tattoo of a Chinese symbol, the same one that Cari had on hers. On December 22, 2016, Shanna Liz Gallier was arrested by Nebraska law enforcement on a traffic warrant. They now showed her the pile of proof they had been gathering for months. This was not enough for Liz, who continued to deny being the murderer. Her trial began on May 10, 2017. The prosecution presented the overwhelming case, and in the end, Liz was found guilty of Cari's murder and an additional arson charge. She was handed a life sentence in prison and a harsh reminder of her actions. The authorities believe Liz killed Cari and then burned the remains to get rid of all the evidence. She then used her cell phone to impersonate Cari for 3 years. They also believe that the crime was committed in Omaha. All this was done because Liz wanted Dave Krupa for herself. Cari's mother expressed gratitude to the detectives for not giving up on the case. She also stated that if she could talk to her daughter now, she would tell her, "I love you. I'm so glad that you were in my life. You have a beautiful son with a wonderful life coming, and I miss you terribly." Thank you for watching True Crime Prime. Kindly subscribe to our channel and remember to like, share, and comment.